I would say the show has definitely evolved. In a weird way, I think we've come full circle. This is a show that started out very much about a girl who finds out that aliens exist in the world and how it rocks her world and changes her. And I think through the second season, we got very much into the sci-fi aspect of the show, the mythology aspect of the show, where they came from, fighting battles from where they were. And I thought for this season, what I really felt I wanted to do was bring the show back to an emotional show, to be about the arcs of these people. The thing that I've always loved most about the show is that we see these aliens as almost more human than humans.
It lost what was so amazing about it and what everybody was drawn to it for, which was the mix of this beautiful relationship between Max and Liz and it getting, you know, these outside forces, but it was more like, I'm in love, but I'm an alien. And then all of a sudden it became like, I'm an alien and I have a girlfriend. You know, it was like, so it totally took a turn that not everybody was too excited about.
Now, after seeing one season, the first season that was based heavily on the romance, and second season, which was based heavily on the science fiction, they know which aspects of each work. And I think that beginning of this season, well, everything that we've shot so far, they've done a really good job of working hard to combine the two.
Voila! M&M Tabasco swirl cookies, and I made them all by myself.
A care package. Man, Max is so spoiled.
What we wanted to do with this first episode is to put Max and Liz at the center of the episode and their relationship at the center of it, because that's sort of where it all began, and what I feel that relationship is sort of the heart of the show to me. At the end of last season, Tess has left the planet with Max's unborn son, and Max vows that he will do anything to save his son and find him. And in the beginning of this first episode, we find him on the journey to do that, and Liz is along for the ride. You know, Max and Liz are together, which I think is going to be incredibly satisfying to the fans of the show who've been waiting for this for a long time. And there's a little bit of Bonnie and Clyde in them as they basically pursue trying to communicate with Max's son.
Down, 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 down!
It's been 3 years. I think that Max started out as one thing, somewhat innocent and a little naive, and he's been through a lot, and I think people have been through a lot with him, and he's not jaded, but I think he's a little more world-worn.
Let me see hands.
You got any powers for this?
With the death of her friend, she really had to stand up and take a stand for something, and that's when she started getting confidence and believing herself again, and that's sort of where the show picks up third season. And you see that she's finally regained her spirit. She and Max have gotten back together, and they're rebelling and sort of just taking the world by storm together and creating a storm.
Look, Max, I know what we did. It's totally wrong and completely legal, but I just left it, you know? In a million years. In 1 million years, did you ever think?
Yeah, that's in the trees. You want to take a mulligan?
No, I don't do drugs.
I sort of look at this as the year that Roswell comes of age. So we're getting ourselves out of the high school, we're expanding the canvas of the show, taking ourselves into new territory and allowing ourselves to sort of play a little bit more sort of adult themes.
Isabel. Hey. This is Jesse Ramirez from my office.
We met at the company.
Picnic, that's right. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
It is introduced in this episode as well, Isabel's new love interest, who
is a very, very serious love interest in somebody she's been seeing all summer, but nobody knows about because he works in her father's office and is a bit older. Not a lot, just a little.
So she's like 22, 23?
26.
26? That's a problem. So, you ready for a little,
Thank you for this meeting, Mr. Ramirez.
No problem, Isabel.
And I think people are going to see how much they're in love with each other as the storyline goes on. I mean, it's really real. It's not an infatuation. It's not something that's, you know, kind of spur of the moment, let's just be in love kind of thing because we're young. I think these characters are really, really in love with each other. They really appreciate each other for who they are.
Whoops.
I don't believe this. You are not going to tell me what you said. You know, this is so indicative.
Shut up.
The character I play as Michael, he's changed actually over the 3 years. He seems to be becoming the normal kind of human one of the group, you know, settling down. Not exactly with a family or anything like that, but he seems to have, you know, gotten priorities straight and stuff like that, so.
Is this some deranged sex thing?
I got a job.
Security guard?
Gotta start somewhere.
This season he's settled down to get a job and he's kind of learned his place on Earth. That's kind of the direction he's headed in from, you know, being the hothead of the group to kind of being the one with the more cooler head.
Okay, so technically I stole it, but they didn't know that.
Right.
Carl fired us because he only thought that one of us took it.
But you did take it. Why can't these aliens ever get in trouble somewhere decent? Like Graceland, or Tahoe, or New Orleans.
Maria DeLuca, she in a year is basically a different person. She was kind of ditzy and like, you know, and now she's the one who, you know, she's very on top of it. She's very like brassy, very, you know, still the best friend and the girlfriend and all of that, but, you know, and still comical, but in a different way. She's a little more in charge.
Okay, first of all, I have some alien green lime pie for you.
Oh my God, Maria, you are a goddess. You know, if you were a boy, I would.
Okay, no, don't go there, girlfriend. How could you make Liz hold a gun?
It's kind of fun because you go on these chases with these characters and you're finding the clues and you're figuring it out, and then there's like the romance and, you know, why aren't you paying attention to me? You know, like all the normal feelings that you have on a day-to-day basis with a human that you have feelings for, and each one of us are all involved in relationships. And then we go through these huge struggles together, and you see us like figure everything out, and everyone, like one member is doing this thing and everyone's doing this, and you sort of, as an audience, are like picking a character and you're like, you know, hoping that they're gonna figure it out, and it sort of becomes like a little chase. And it's great when you watch these characters figure it out, or you watch them fall, because you know that they're not gonna give up. They're gonna continue the fight.
You're free. We came here for a reason, because your son is in trouble. Now you need to go back and do what we came for. You know, see if your ship works. Come on, I don't want this to all be for nothing.
I'm a member of that group of outsiders. I always knew I was different. And for a long, long time, all I wanted was to be another face in the crowd. But in the end, it wasn't possible. I think the show is still very much about finding your own identity. I think it's about self-discovery and trying to find your place in the world, and really just trying to find out who you are. So from now on, I'll just concentrate on being who I really am. Some of you might not like that.
At the bottom of it all, it would seem that more often than not, what we're about is the ability of people to tolerate people who are different. I mean, we spent the first 2 years with these hybrids, you know, these alien, half humans, running for their lives, afraid of everything and everyone. And all the FBI wants to do is cut them up and put them in test tubes. And we, as the audience, have gotten to know them, and they're, it's unthinkable. They're not, you can't do that to them. I don't care how different they are.
When this is over, these creatures will never bother anyone ever again.
I remember when we first showed the pilot episode to, we had a screening of it when we were just about finished with it to get people's responses. And somebody came up to me and said that, the thing that they notice is that every single character in the show is an outsider. It's not just the alien characters, it's even the sheriff, who at that time was the antagonist and the guy who was trying to get them. He was also an outsider, an outside of society. And I think that is, to me, what is in a weird way, what the draw is about the show, what the appeal is of the show, that these characters are all sort of searching for and striving for a way to fit in.
Well, Bridesmaids, of course, and since you guys... What would keep me involved as an audience member week to week would be something honest. And I know that's a word that everybody throws around, but it's whenever I'm drawn to a show or drawn to an actor or drawn to a story, it's because it feels real, and it feels like it's either something I've experienced or understand or have known somebody who's gone through it. And I think that's what this show is becoming more and more, not, trying to merge something that is almost, that is unbelievable with something that is very real and honest, and making it the whole thing, the whole package, a story that people almost can relate to, aliens or no aliens.
I think the hope is that people will watch these shows and associate with some of the situations and relate to the emotions that these characters go through, and can maybe learn something from it and learn from the mistakes that we make, because they make a lot.
I think it's about this group of people that are from all different aspects of the world and life that have come together to keep each other safe. And you see these people just throw themselves into the line of fire constantly to help one another out. And I think it's the bond that these people have created that makes the show special.